everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we are making this beautiful basket. This is such a simple basket. We are using extended single crochets and double crochets to make this beautiful piece. This is made using Bernat Maker big yarn. I actually don't have any more left, so I used all the skeins I have, so I just have the label here. I'll come closer so you can see. This is Bernat Maker big, and this is a 66 yard ball. We are using 4 of these, so it's about 250 yards of yarn, and this is just a cotton nylon. It's like t-shirt yarn. Let me see if I can zoom into this stitch here. My dad is not filming today. I am doing this all myself, so excuse the filming. But this is so beautifully made using this Maker big yarn, and we are also using this crochet hook that is an L-sized hook. Okay, that is 8 millimeters, if you can see that. And this crochet hook is just a regular boy hook. I don't actually have this in a would-be fancy hook. I usually use hooks like this that have the handle on them. This is from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy, but I do not have one in this size. So I'm using an L-sized hook, which is 8 millimeters in this tutorial. And then I also have a scissors to cut my yarn, and we'll just be using our crochet hook to sew in our ends. And this basket measures 12 inches across, okay? And let's see here. It's about 10 inches high, okay? Which is about 26 centimeters. But you can make this as tall as you want just by repeating the double crochet rounds. But we start from the base and working around, and then we come up the sides. It is a little bit of a flimsy. I try to use the tight stitch using this smaller crochet hook with this chunky yarn, but I'm going to possibly put either like a ring inside, like an embroidery hoop or something at the bottom to keep the base from kind of collapsing. But for the most part, I mean, it is pretty thick material, so it looks really nice. I have that end to sew in there. So you can see we worked up this side here, so we're just attaching, chaining up 2 and working in rounds, and you'll see that in the tutorial. The free crochet pattern is on YARNutopia.com, and all the links to my social media are in the link in the description of this video, so you can check that out. And also check out my YouTube channel here on YouTube. You can subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. I have to say a huge thank you to Yarnspirations for providing this yarn today. This is Bernat Maker Big for this project. I'm using 4 balls of this today in this tutorial to make this big basket. And I wish I could say thank you to my dad for filming, but I'm the one filming today. I wish he was here with me to film this tutorial, and I hope that this tutorial is, you'll be able to see my stitches pretty well to make this basket alongside with me. So thanks for watching, everyone, and let's get started and make this giant basket. Alright, we are going to start off with a slip knot, so put your short end over your long end, then fold this down and pull your long end through and pull tight, and there's your slip knot. You can insert your hook and we can start. So to start off, we are going to chain 2, so yarn over and pull through 1 and 2, and in this second chain from the hook right here, we are going to put 8 extended single crochets. So to do that, we are going to insert our hook into this chain right here, so go into that chain, then yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 1 loop only, and then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. That is an extended single crochet. So we're going to make 8 of those into that chain. So no yarning over, just go into the chain, then yarn over and pull that through, then yarn over and pull through 1 loop on the hook, and then yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Okay, I'll do that again. So that's our second one there. So go into the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, go into the chain, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, and pull through 2. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, trying to get into the camera here. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Here's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. Now we are going to be working in continuous rounds, so if you want to place a stitch marker here, I think I have some around here, but maybe not. You can also use a separate piece of yarn, which, let me grab a piece here. You can just grab a different colored piece of yarn and stick it in there, so that's your the marker of the round. So this is the beginning of the round. So we're going to work in continuous rounds, and we're going to start working in this stitch right here. We're going to make, for round 2, put 2 extended single crochets into each stitch around. So this first stitch right here, we're making 2 extended single crochets in that same stitch. So there's 1. So go back in to that same stitch and make another one. Okay, so this next stitch right here, we're going to go in, make an extended single crochet stitch, and then go back in to the same stitch and make another one. Just like that. So we're going to put 2 extended single crochets into each stitch around, and at the end of this round you should have 16 extended single crochet stitches. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. All right, just finishing round 2 here. There we go. So we have 16 extended single crochets all the way around. Moving the stitch marker up, we are going to go on to round 3. For round 3, the increase is putting 2 extended single crochets in this stitch, and then 1 extended single crochet in the next stitch, and then repeating the sequence all the way around. So go into this first stitch here and put 2 extended single crochets in there. So there's 1 and 2 in that first stitch. Going to the next stitch here, we're just going to put 1. And then we're just going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So go into this next stitch here and put 2 extended single crochets. Okay, 2 in that stitch, and then 1 in this next stitch here. So at the end of round 3, you should have 24 of these extended single crochet stitches, because we are increasing every other stitch. So there's 2 in this stitch here, and then 1 in here. 2 in the next, 1 in the next, and just keep doing that all the way around, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I have 24 stitches all the way around now, so now we can go on to round 4 here. Let's move the stitch marker up, and for round 4 we're going to put 2 extended single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then repeat that all the way around. So go into this first stitch here and make 2 extended single crochets. So 1 and 2. Okay, so 2 are in that first stitch, and then 1 in each of these next 2 stitches. So 1 and 1. Okay, and then just repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So put 2 extended single crochets into this next stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1, next stitch, 1. Okay, and just repeat that all the way around. So 2 in the next, 1 in the next 2. And then at the end of round 4, you should have 32 extended single crochets. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. All right, I have my 32 stitches around, so now we are going on to the next round. I'm going to move my stitch marker up and we are going to increase again. So for the next round, round 5, we are going to put 2 extended single crochets in this first stitch and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches for this round. So you can kind of see how the increase is going. Each round that we increase, there's 1 extra stitch in between the increases. So for this round, round 5, we are going to put 2 extended single crochets in the first stitch and then 1 extended single crochet in each of these next 3 stitches. 1, 1, and 1. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat that whole sequence all the way around. So put 2 extended single crochets in this next stitch and then 1 extended single crochet in each of these next 3 stitches. Okay, at the end of round 5, you should have 40 stitches already. This is going pretty quickly, actually. I'm really enjoying this project. And this yarn is super squishy, so I like it. So I'll do that, and then I'll be right back. All right, I have 40 stitches around. This is what my circle looks like so far. So now we're going on to the next round, moving our stitch marker up. We are going on to round 6, and we are going to put 2 extended single crochets in this first stitch right here, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches for this round, and then repeat. So go into this first stitch and make 2 extended single crochets, just like that, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of these next 4 stitches. So 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, next stitch 4, and then just repeat. So go into this next stitch and put 2 extended single crochet stitches, 1 and 2, and then put 1 extended single crochet in each of these next 4 stitches, and repeat. At the end of round 6, you'll have 48 extended single crochet stitches. So I'll do that, repeat, and I'll come back and we'll go on to round 7 next. Okay, I'm back. I have 48 stitches around. Okay, if you feel like your base is as big as you want it to be, you can skip ahead to when we start working in the back loop only and making the sides. But I still want to make my base a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, so we're going to increase again. So let's go on to round 7. So move our stitch marker up, and we are going to put 2 extended single crochets into the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches for this round. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, and that is our repeat right there. So 2 in the next and 1 in the next 5. So 2 in this next one here, and then 1 in the next 5 stitches. And at the end of round 7, you should have 56 extended single crochet stitches. So I'll just do that. And also, if I'm going a little too fast, you can always pause this, rewind this to see where I'm putting my stitches. I hope I'm doing an okay job because my dad's not here to film this with me, so I'm hoping I'm staying in the photo frame that you can see where I'm putting my exact stitches. My dad just does such a better job than I do at this filming thing. So just continue this pattern for this round 7, and hopefully by the end of this round we'll have our 56 stitches and we can go on to increasing more for round 8. Okay, I have 56 stitches around. If your piece is kind of getting wobbly like this, don't worry about that. It will lay flat later when we start working up the sides. So this is what your piece should look like right now. And again, if you want to work up the sides at this point, just skip ahead to the video part where we are working on the sides. But I am going to increase some more. So let's move this stitch marker up. Going on to round 8 now, we are going to put 2 extended single crochet into this first stitch here. And then we're going to put 1 extended single crochet into each of the next 6 stitches. So here's 1, next stitch 2, next stitch 3, here's 4, 5, ooh, sorry, I knocked the camera. Here's 5 and 6. There we go. And now we're going to increase again. So just repeat this sequence. So 2 in the next, 1 in the next 6 stitches. So right here we're going to put 2 extended single crochet stitches. 1 and 2. And then 1 extended single crochet in each of these next 6 stitches. At the end of round 8, you should have 64 stitches around. I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. All right, I have 64 stitches around. This is getting much bigger, how I like it. So I'm going to do 3 more increase rounds. I want to get up to 88 stitches. If you want to, you can continue this increase and make a rug out of this yarn. This is so fabulous. Just continue the increase around, increasing meaning putting 2 in the first stitch and 1 in the next, however many stitches till you get to the next increase. So each round will have an extra 1 stitch between the increases. So for this next round, round 9, we are going to put 2 extended single crochet stitches in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 stitch in each of the next 7 stitches for this round. Okay, so there's 1, 2, now I'm getting really fast at this stitch because I've been doing it so much. Here's 5, or I'm sorry, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then in the next stitch we are going to increase. Sorry, I came out of frame there, but we're going to put 2 extended single crochets in this next stitch right here. 1 and 2. Oops, I keep knocking the camera. Here's 2 Okay, and then 1 extended single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, 5, oh my goodness, 5, 6, and 7. There. And now we can increase again. So you just know the increase, just put 2 extended single crochets in the next stitch and then 1 extended single crochet in the next 7 stitches, and then repeat that all the way around. At the end of this round, you should have 72 stitches. So we're getting very large here. So we're really close to being done with our increase. So I'm going to do that, and once I have my 72 stitches, we can go on to round 10 next. Okay, I have 72 stitches around. This is what my circle's getting really large now. I want to increase 2 more rounds, so I'm going to move my stitch marker up. We can go on to round 10. We are going to put 2 extended single crochets into this first stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So each round increases 1 stitch in between the increases each round. So this one has 8 in between the increases. The next round will have 9, and the next round will have 10, etc., etc. So you can make this a big round rug if you want to. That'd be cool. Just making the increases accordingly. But I'm just going to do 2 more increases. So this round and the next round are just my increases. And that will get me to be about a 12-inch, almost I guess 13 inches of a circle across. I'm at the next increase here. So I'm going to put 2 extended single crochets in that stitch, and then 1 in each of the next ones until I get to the next increase here. Okay, so in each of these next 8 stitches, I get to put 1 extended single crochet. Okay, and then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next 8, then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next 8, etc., etc. So just continue that repeat, and I will be right back. Okay, I have 80 stitches after round 10. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's kind of a little bit wavy at this point. You can kind of stretch it a little bit, and also once we get up the sides, this will flatten out even more. So I'm going to continue 1 more increase round, and then we can make the sides. So round 11 here, we're moving our stitch marker up, and we are going to put 2 extended single crochets into this first stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 extended single crochet in each of the next 9 stitches for this round, and then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next 9, then 2 in the next, and 1 in the next 9. At the end of round 11, we will have 88 extended single crochet stitches. So that's the increase, and I feel like I've been repeating myself for each round because it's just 1 more stitch in between the increases for each round. So this round has 9 in between the next increase, 9 stitches. The row before us had 8, the row before that had 7, etc., etc. So we're just increasing 1 more stitch between the increases. So here's my stitch that has 2 in there. So the first one will be our increase. So you can see here we had 2 and then 1 in the next 9. Now in this one we're going to put 2 extended single crochets, 1 and 2, and then 1 in the next 9 stitches, and just repeat. So do that at the end of this round. Like I said, you'll have 88 stitches around. I'll do that, and then we can start working on the sides. All right, I have 88 stitches around now. This is what my big base looks like. So now we're done working in continuous rounds here, so I'm going to remove my stitch marker. And what we're going to do for round 12 now is work in rounds, but we are going to slip stitch first into this very next stitch right here. Okay, so go into this next stitch just like this. Actually, you can work in the back loop only because we are going to be working in the back loops only for this round. So the loop that's closest to you right here is the front loop, and the loop that's back here is called the back loop. Okay, back loop, back loop, back loop. So what we're going to do is go into the very next stitch right here. Okay, we're going on to round 12, and we are going to slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through, and pull through. Okay, pull tight. And now we are in that stitch, and we are going to go on to round 12. So let's chain 2, 1 and 2. Now that chain 2 for this round and every round does not count as anything, okay? It's just getting us to the height we need. And we are going to double crochet into that same stitch, that same back loop there. So yarn over, go into that same stitch, then yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through 2 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops on your hook. That's a double crochet. Now for the rest of this round, no more increasing. We're just going to be working into the back loops only, and we're going to double crochet around. So yarn over, go into this next stitch in the back loop only, then yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops. And that's your double crochet. So we're going to do that in each stitch around. So yarn over, go into the back loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, again, yarn over, go into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do this all the way around, and no more increasing or anything. I am going to be removing my stitch marker, and once I have a double crochet in the back loop of every stitch around, I'll come back and show you how to finish this round, and we can go on to round 13. So I didn't finish this round yet. I just am at the end of this skein of yarn, so I wanted to show you how to add a new skein of yarn. So what we're going to do is make sure you have enough for 1 more stitch, and we are going to yarn over, go into that back loop there, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, but then leave these last 2 loops on your hook and leave the rest of this to just be sewn in later. Grab your new ball of yarn, hook on the new ball of yarn, and pull it through those last 2 stitches there, or those last 2 loops there. Okay, then you can drop the 2 stragglers, and what I personally like to do is just tie these 2 once. Okay, and now we have our working yarn, and we have the 2 strands there. And I'm going to crochet over the top of these, working my rest of my stitches on this round 12. So I'm still working round 12, working in the back loops. I just ran out of yarn, so I had to grab my second skein of yarn, and now we are continuing to work this round, working in the back loops only. So I just wanted to show that to everybody. You can see I'm working over these straggler yarns here so they get sewn in right away, and I don't have to go back and sew them in later. So just continue on, and I'll be back for round 13. Okay, I worked in the back loop of every stitch, so you can see this kind of ridge here. That's the end of the base. Okay, so now we're working up the side, and this is what it should look like right now. So what we're going to do to finish round 12 here, we're going to ignore this chain 2 here. We're going to go into the actual stitch right here, and we're going to go into both loops. So go into the first double crochet right into that stitch, go in, and then yarn over and pull it through that stitch and pull it through the loop on your hook, just like that, and then pull tight. Okay, so now for the rest of this pattern, for each round we are going to chain 2 and then double crochet into each stitch around, and at this point we are going to work into both loops, so front and back loop. So let's go on to round 13. Let's chain up 2, and I have 88 stitches around. So chain up 2, again that does not count as anything, double crochet into this very first stitch that we just slip stitched into, so yarn over, go into both front and back loop. Oops. There we go. Double crochet, and then just double crochet into each stitch going in both loops. Yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and just continue working that all the way around. Now we're working in both loops, and then when you come back around, just repeat what we did. So just slip stitch to the first double crochet stitch, ignore this chain up 2, slip stitch in there, then just repeat round 2 here. Just chain up 2, double crochet into that first stitch and each stitch around, and then slip stitch to the first double crochet, just like how I showed you. So just do that for as many rounds as you want. I'm going to continue this, and once I am finished with as many rounds as I want, the height of this basket will be much higher, and then we'll go on to adding a couple handles here, and then we'll finish off our basket. Alright, welcome back. I just finished round 21 here. I'm just finishing it. I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch right here. And what we're actually doing, you can see I've marked some stitches around, and this obviously needs some shaping, but this is what the basket looks like so far. It looks nice. I marked these rounds because I'm going to make handles now. So for round 22 here, we are going to slip stitch into this first stitch. Okay, just like how we were finishing all the rest of our rounds. And then we're going to chain 2, just like we're starting a new round. And then double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, but now as you can see, I've marked some stitches here. I'm going to skip the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to work into this one here. We're going to chain 8. So yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then hop over to where we marked the stitch here and yarn over, and then go into that stitch that we marked. Okay, you can remove that marker, and then make a double crochet in there. Okay, then we're going to double crochet until we get to the next marker. Now we're going to, the markers are halfway points. So we double crochet in the first stitch, skipped the next 8, double crochet into the next 35 stitches, then chain 8, skip 8 stitches, and then double crochet into the next 35 stitches. I hope that helps you in doing the math of where your handles should be, or you can just mark your stitches halfway across each other, your handles halfway across each other, and just mark some stitches, and you want 8 stitches of a handle. So that is big enough to fit your hand into, and it will be nice for lifting this basket. So I am going to do that. I'm just going to double crochet until I get to this point, and I'll come right back. Alright, now I'm at the point where I need to make my next handle, so I'm going to double crochet in where I marked this stitch. Okay, and then I'm going to remove this marker, and we're going to chain 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're going to skip 8 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then double crochet into this next stitch here. Okay, and you can remove the stitch marker. Perfect. Now we're just going to double crochet into the rest of the stitches around until we get back to this beginning point right here. So there should be 35 stitches. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back and show you how to do the next round. Okay, I'm back around here. I'm just going to slip stitch to the first double crochet stitch, so I'm going to ignore this chain 2 here and go into this double crochet stitch right there and slip stitch. And now going on to round 23, we are going to chain 2, just like we've been doing, and double crochet into that very first stitch right there. And now for each of these chain spaces, you can either decide to work into the chain space or work into each chain itself. I'm going to work into each chain itself. So what I'm going to do is turn this way, and I'm going to work into these back ridges of my chain. So I'm going to double crochet into each one. You can put 8 double crochets into this chain 8 space if you want, but I'm going to work into each chain. So I hope you can see this. Let me back up here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the back ridge. You can work in any loop you want. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, next chain. Just like this. Okay, and work into each of the 8 chains. Okay, I'm going to get through each of these. Then we're going to double crochet into each stitch until we hit the next chain space over there. And then we are going to double crochet into each of those chains. And you can see that the handle is being made right there. Now, while I was working this, you can kind of see it's kind of wobbly all the way around. I decided I might end up putting a ring, like some type of large ring, either like a embroidery hoop or some type of ring inside, just to keep its shape. I'm also probably going to block this piece, so I'm going to spray it down with water, kind of shape it into the shape that I want it to be, and then let it dry. And it's nice to have like a extra, like a padding, like a towel or something, or a few towels I guess will fit in here, to keep its shape. And then once it keeps its shape and dries, it will stay that shape. So that's just a good tip to have. So now I'm over all these chains here. You can see I went all the way through. So now I'm going to work into this double crochet stitch here, and we're just going to double crochet into each stitch. And then when we get to that chain back there, we're going to do the same thing that we just did right here, and then just finish off by double crocheting around. So that's this round. That's round 23. So once I'm finished with this round, I'll meet you up and we will go on to the next step. All right, I just finished this last round here, and if you want to just go on to another round, you can just slip stitch to the stitch and just work another double crochet round. But I'm actually going to cut it off here, so we're going to slip stitch to the first stitch here, and then we're going to chain 1. I'm going to cut this yarn, and then we're going to pull it through that chain 1, and then pull tight. Okay, and we're going to sew that in. We also have to sew in that end in there. And like I said earlier, I'm probably going to block this piece or try to stretch it out to make the edges a little bit less flimsy. But I feel like if I go much higher than this, it will cave in. But to sew in my end, I'm just going to go in from the inside here and use my crochet hook. I actually probably use a smaller crochet hook, and I have a would-be fancy hook here. So I'm going to go underneath some of these stitches and then hook this on and pull it and kind of just sew it in using this hook. Oh, did you see that? I'm sorry. So I wish my dad was here to film this. It's kind of difficult doing it myself, but I'm doing the best I can, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for helping get through this, and I hope this helps and you learn something and can get through this yourself. But just sew that in and then cut any extra you may have. But there it is. I'm going to try to back up my camera so you can see how lovely this looks. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this basket with me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and also check out the links in the description of this video so you can see the link to my blog where you get the free crochet pattern on YARNutopia.com. You can get the links to all of my social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And until next time, happy hooking!